What is going on, guys? It's your boy ShadyMikeGaming. Welcome to another NBA 2K23 jump shot fix, guys. Today we've got Anthony Davis on deck. Now, Anthony Davis is actually kind of notorious in the 2K community. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander last week, I do think Anthony Davis has one of the worst default jump shots in the game. I couldn't possibly know what 2K was thinking when they put him in the game shooting like this. It looks very odd, very weird, just insanely stiff when Anthony Davis is a talented, smooth, athletic player. So that was kind of the goal today, to really like smooth out Anthony Davis's game, show a lot of that skill, some of those guard skills that he has, and really take Anthony Davis to the next level. Before we get into the jump shot fix though, guys, if you do like the content, please do like the video. It helps a ton, and make sure to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming jump shots. We're gonna have Brandon Ingram and Giannis Antetokounmpo coming up next. Remember, guys, if you'd like early access to any of my jump shot fixes, click that join button to support the channel further. It's only $1, and I really appreciate you guys for that. So like I said, Anthony Davis, he is basically having a career year. He's been playing incredible. Now, unfortunately, right now, he is injured, and that has been kind of a recurring theme with AD. He takes a lot of, obviously, slack for being injured, but we know when he's healthy, he's right there as one of the best bigs in the league. Whether you want to call him a 4 or a 5, he's definitely up there. He impacts both sides of the ball, which is what I love in a big man, someone that can also impact on the defensive end. But I was thinking, as I was making this jump shot, I was like, man, we're low-key getting to the point where Anthony Davis might be a little bit underrated. He's having an incredible year, and so it's really good to get his game looking right. Another thing about Anthony Davis, as you can see on the screen, which frustrates me, 2K this year and last year, basically the past 2 years, just completely slacking on the player likeness updates. I don't even know what's going on here. Anthony Davis has braids now, and he wears the headband with the braids. There's nothing in the game that even looks like that. He's just got this weird looking afro situation going on here. So I don't know. There's different hairstyles you can pick for him. I guess I probably should have picked a better one, but yeah, I hope we start to get more player likeness updates. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into the rest of Anthony Davis's game and take a look at his jump shot. Alright, guys, so when we take a look at Anthony Davis, we're going to start off with his release. Because it is so simple, it is actually very textbook. The first detail that we're going to look at for AD is his set point. He's going to have a high release. So you're going to notice upon the release of that shot, it's high. He's got his elbow pretty much pointing upwards. Now, you look at that set point, it's high, but it's not really over his head. If you look at it from the front, it's kind of, I'll say, like right over his right eyebrow. The ball is pretty much in the center of his head. So really nice set point there. Like I said, high but not over his head. We also want to take a look at his shooting elbow. Might seem like a weird detail. I'll make sure I put a still up here too, but that shooting elbow is like really tucked. It's really tucked in. He's got a really straight shooting elbow, pointing directly at the basket. And like I said, it is pretty high as well. I also noticed at certain points in the shot, I caught this on a still, that right elbow is going to be ever so slightly higher than the left elbow. The next thing that I want to talk about with AD's shot is really the offhand, really the off arm and the placement and the motion. Let me see if I can get the camera here because it's fighting with me. But when AD shoots, we're going to watch his offhand, right? First and foremost, it is going to be on the side of the basketball, not the top, not the front, not the back. It's going to be on the side. And there's going to be a motion that he makes where his offhand is going to go forward. It's extremely textbook, but his offhand goes forward with the basketball, with the shot. That shooting hand is fully extended, shooting arm is fully extended. But when you look at that offhand, guys, there's no flare, there's no thumb flick, it's just straight. So extremely textbook when we talk about the release from AD, and I really like it for him. All right, guys, and let's go ahead and take a look at Anthony Davis's base, or really, I should say bases, because he shoots the ball in quite a few different ways. Now, guys, I started this process of researching Anthony Davis by looking at his three-point shot, because that's what I do. Like, you know, that's always the easiest jump shots to find and analyze the form, because they're usually catch and shoot type situations, right? But watching Anthony Davis and then really just looking at his stats, I realized he'd only made 9 threes on the year. Most of his jump shots are from mid-range. So, and he does shoot his mid-range shots differently than he shoots his threes. It's not that I didn't know that, it's just my process is to always start with the 3-ball. So, but obviously for AD, we had to take a little bit of a different approach. Now for AD, guys, I'm not going to sit here and go frame by frame on the base. I mean, we could, because the one that I found for his 3-point shot is very good. It looks just like his 3-point shot. There's no major details that we're looking for. It's just really the typical, right? His right foot is in front of the left. He bends his knees inwards a little bit, but there's still space there. He kind of sways forward, and he lands kind of on like a flat landing. The base that I picked for his 3-point shot is very good, and if that's what you guys want to use, that's what we can. But what I want to do is I want to transition and talk about some of the trends that I noticed from his mid-range game, so that, you know, we can take a look at that as well. And this is really going to be personal preference in terms of what base you choose. So I'm going to cut to some of the footage that I recorded. One detail that I noticed with AD on his base is I noticed that his mid-range jump shot is almost like a fadeaway at all times. He kind of like fades on it. Now there's sometimes he'll do just a normal typical fade, but then there's other times that he's going to do like a fade with like one leg. So I've made sure to try and capture both of those. Now, we talked about his 3-point base, his mid-range. He'll have some times where he fades normally. He'll have some times where he fades with the right leg. And there's also some other times where Anthony Davis just goes straight up and down, like an extremely textbook base where he just elevates, lands flat-footed, and straight in place. And I would say that's the closest looking one to the default, but it's still the one that we picked is so much better than the default because it just looks more natural, doesn't look as robotic and stiff. All right, guys, so when we go to Anthony Davis and his signature shot, I'm going to take you guys through all the different bases that I showed in the video. Now, the first, and this is Anthony Davis's 3-point shot. This is the PJ Washington base. We got it blended Jaylen Brown, Robert Williams, 49. I've got the release timing at slow. Now, I get some comments sometimes about the, you know, release timing and shot timing and all that crap. I don't care about that. I'm going for realism. So if you need to change this for whatever reason, feel free. I'm just not interested in, you know, something messing up shot timing. I'm going for the most realistic outcome here. The other base that I showed, let me see if I can scroll and find it. We used the Elton Brand base as well, guys. I showed you a base where he was pretty much elevating straight up and down. That's the Elton Brand base. I think it looks really good. It's actually one of my favorites. I think it's a good blend between the few, you know, that we took a look at. Next up, for the mid-range base, I showed you guys a few that were kind of fading away. Do have to change, actually. Do have to change the height for this, and the reason I'm doing this live, and I'm sorry I'm fumbling the bag right now, but the reason I'm doing this live is so that I don't get any questions like, oh hey, how do I get this base or that base? So the next one that we're gonna go look for is, let me scroll, see if I can find it. There we go, Talen Horton-Tucker. This one looks really good for his mid-range as well. It's got that fade, got that leg kick, really like that one. And the other one that I showed, and trust me guys, there were literally 20 bases I was considering for AD. I want to make sure I show you guys the ones that I really like. And again, for a lot of these, you do have to, you know, either have your console offline or change your height. I really like the Jason Tatum base as well to emulate that fade from mid-range. Now, we didn't like the Jason Tatum base for Jason Tatum, but you know, we like it for AD here. So guys, this is going to come down to personal preference. Let me know in the comments below which base that you like. Like I said, we've got footage for all of them. We got footage for a lot of them because AD shoots so differently so many times. So let's go ahead and go to the rest of his game. I actually forgot to change this, but for the free throw, we are going with Alonzo Mourning. Now, Anthony Davis's free throw form is actually perfect for the upper body, but when Anthony Davis shoots his free throws, his legs are much wider than the actual Anthony Davis free throw. That's why I changed it. Obviously, it's personal preference if you prefer the perfect form. I thought Alonzo Mourning was still pretty close to the accurate form in motion. It just also has those wider legs, so that's why I went with it. For the dribble pull-up, this one was tough because AD doesn't do a lot of pull-ups, but he did a few pull-ups going straight forward. I like pro, very little elevation, kind of shoots in place. I did not touch his spin jumper. Can't find AD doing a spin jumper, but I don't know, it kind of looks like his fade, so we'll talk about that a little bit later in the game. So normal for the spin jumper. For the hop jumper, this is also default, but I did take a look at this and I just kind of like what they have here for AD. Now, he does do step backs every now and again. I had some footage of him doing step backs to the left. He's going to do a step back with a pretty hard plant, and he creates quite a bit of space when he's going to his left, so that's why I liked normal. I'll make sure I've got a good long clip of that so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. It does like a step back to the left that has like this little leg kick with it. I thought I was rocking with normal for that. As we go to the layup package, I'm gonna have to cut here because for some reason my changes for the dunk package it didn't save, but we're going with default small with the layup package, just because whenever we see AD do layups, they were very guard-like, under the basket, finger roll type situations. He's got a very smooth layup game, so I went with default small, but I felt like that one fit the best. And let's pause for a minute and take a look at Anthony Davis's dunks. All right, guys, so as we move on to the post fade, I'm going with Luka Doncic, guys. The reason for his fadeaway to the right, he has a significant high leg kick. Luka Doncic covers that. When Anthony Davis decides to fade to his left, he's going to extend that off leg, and it kind of gives him a lot of space to get that shot off. He just kind of keeps it straight. Even sometimes he kind of like kicks guys with it. It's very interesting that there's no offensive foul called on that sometimes, but Luka Doncic is perfect for AD. Now for the post hook, AD's post hook is basically a little push shot. He kind of pushes the ball towards the rim, so we go with Giannis Antetokounmpo for that. Post hop shot, I've never seen AD do anything like this. Couldn't find any footage of anything that looked anything like a post hop shot, excuse me, but there's an Anthony Davis post hop shot. I guess we're gonna stick with it. If anyone else thinks something else is more accurate, I don't know. Or you know, if there's any footage of that, I haven't been able to see anything from that this year, so I just kept it at default. Now, the only other thing that I changed, and like I said, guys, in my last video, I don't often change the handles because, I mean, it's like guys have a lot of different handle packages that they do. Now, I saw Anthony Davis kind of doing some size ups that look like they could be from the Luka Doncic package, but they could also just be from the basic package. So I kind of put this here as an optional. Some of the crossovers get a little crazy. You don't have to do those with AD, but yeah, I just thought that the Luka Doncic size up for him was actually a pretty good fit. All right, guys, and that is going to do it for our Anthony Davis jump shot fix. I wanted to say thank you for all the support on all of the recent videos. Be sure to smash that like button on your way out, and also make sure you're subscribed to my second channel. I got a lot of content going up as well. I'll make sure that is linked in the description. Make sure you guys are also following me on all my social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at ShadyMikeGaming. That way you can keep up with everything that we are working on. Brandon Ingram is going to be next up, so stay tuned, keep it locked to the channel for that. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for the support. I hope everyone is enjoying this holiday season. I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm signing out. Peace. Grease.